Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of one of my favorite shows on this channel. You guys know the drill. No other person, yeah, than this
Yeah,
American. Actually, my favorite American on the space right now, man.
God
See ya,
bless
guys.
America.
Exactly, man.
Appreciate that.
See ya, guys. No other person than my guy, my brother, Oregon Gooner. Talk to these people, Dal. How you doing, my brother, man?
Doing good, Tony. God, we've had better days in the Arsenal front, but overall, things are good. It's a new year. Family's good. Everyone's happy and healthy, and it's great to see you. And again, congratulations on an incredible wedding you just had a few months ago, right? A few weeks ago,
Thanks, man.
practically. So, yeah, no, big up to
Exactly.
everyone in the chat tuning in soon. We'll get some people in here, but once we get the ball rolling. But thank you for having me on, and let's get into it.
Yeah, see, man, Alvin Gunner, there's no thanking you or thanking anyone or thanking me or thank. See, bro, you are part and parcel of this show. We crafted it
Thank you.
together. We do it together, and of course, we take the blessings together. So, big ups to you every other time, man, my guy. See, Oregon Gunner, man. I mean, I nearly quit football last week, but
What? You quit football?
bro, I almost quit watching Arsenal, bro. But you know,
Really?
I just looked at everything holistically, and I
Right.
was like, okay, the enemies want me to just crash out and burn and
Right.
just give up watching Arsenal game. And I was thinking, what will Oregon gonna say? What will my big friends and I mean that I work with say? I'll just give this another shot. How about that? Arvin, gonna take us through your emotional thought process after that Newcastle game. I mean, then I broke down. Like
Right.
all my system shattered.
Yeah.
I was
It,
nearly in tears live on air, and I never want Arsenal. Arsenal should be the last thing causing this kind of problems for me. But
right.
what was your
Right.
takeaway in that one? Because there's lots of things for us to cover right
Yeah. I
here,
mean,
right now.
we could do a 4 hour show on just that game alone, practically, couldn't we? Shout out Paul. Big up Paul Blue Nose in the building first and
Shout out Paul
foremost.
for
Paul
Bruno. Speak up
joining
to
us.
you, man.
Wow, where to begin? Well, let's begin at the lineup. Kai Havertz again, expected to pull off miracles, bro. It's by a thread now. Like he is so bad, Tony. Like, did you really get to watch him? That's why you were crying, bro, because he was terrible. He was awful. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, Odegaard can only move to the right. Like, where's the creativity in the left center of the park? It's a big void, right? It's a void of talent. It's a void of any. I mean, Declan Rice, 105 mil performance the other day, $105 million performance. We got Jack for 50 mil from West Ham, bro. We're overpaying for players where we need two players. We're getting one, Tony. And the ones we're getting are bang average. Bang average. Odegaard, done. Thomas Partey, he did the best he could. He's doing the best he can to keep this squad together. One of the most senior players on the team, doing the most he can. Declan Rice. You might as well, bro. You might as well just play international football at this point, and that's it. Because you are a Southgate puppet. Southgate has ruined our midfielder, Tony. He's ruined our number 6. Well, Gabriel's got the number 6, but you know what I mean. He's
Yeah,
ruined him. He is not the same player, Tony, since the Euros. Where's the passion? I mean, I know he's out there fighting. I'm not saying fight and passion, kind of the same thing, right? But I mean, come on. I think Arteta's doing this. He's going to injure Rice like we did Saka. Rice can't be the left mid and the 6 at the same freaking time, Tony. He can't do it all. And that's what's hindering him. He's having to make up for Partey. He's having to make up for Odegaard. And I'm not even bigging him up. I'm just seeing what I see on the television. Rice is everywhere but doing nothing. Right? He's everywhere but doing nothing, Tony. Odegaard, he's everywhere but doing nothing. Jesus everywhere doing nothing. They're just running around at this point, chasing themselves, getting mad at each other, not taking initiative to step towards the ball, Tony, to trap the ball, to take that step in front of your man. We're talking football 101. Paul Blue knows. He knows you get in front of your man for the ball. You don't pull out of challenges. I mean, it's fucking football 101 we're talking about here, Tony. And this manager cannot coach them anymore. And it's on the players and it's on Arteta in that aspect. Because they have to be open to what he's trying to do. He has to get through what he's trying to do and communicate clearly to the squad. And they don't get it. They're lost out there, bro. They're lost. They don't know what to do.
That's
what I saw. That's what I saw, just to kind of summarize that up.
You summarize it. I mean, Dahlia, see, you just brought Rice into the picture. There's always this discrepancy about where should Declan Rice play as a player. But I see him more as a box-to-box player. But before you bring him into that system where you have to allow him roam free, do defensive duties, play that 6 and alternate it with number 8, you have to put him amongst big time players who understand what it means to actually play for this football club, what it means to actually interchange with a player like Declan Rice. And now, just like you said, he's doing everything, but he's nowhere. How about just saying, okay, good, Declan Rice, instead of you moving about like a headless chicken here and not getting the results that we desire, why don't you just stay in one place? Like, okay, forget this 8-6 debacle. Where do you want to play? Where is the best place for you to play? Now, just stay there and give us a performance. Because it looks completely drab with the way he's playing. I mean, you could argue about that game against Newcastle that he was one of our standout characters, but in previous games he hasn't been our standout character. All true, he has always had stinkers in a couple of games. I mean, I could count up to 6 games in a row. I've not really seen the best to which I know Declan Rice could be. So instead of this manager to go into the transfer window, I mean, that's a topic for another day, but and just bring in people or bring in personnel that could actually help Declan Rice be the kind of player he wants to be. So if you want to put him in that number 6 position, let it be. If you want to use him as a box-to-box midfielder, number 8, roll him out, helping attacking options, I mean, good and okay. But with this manager is allowing him to do everything, but nothing. And of course, when he has nothing but dumb heads, in and around that midfield. I'm talking of Martin Odegaard, who doesn't even help out, just running like a headless chicken. Before, he helps out defensively, but now those runs are drab. He can't run. He's weak. You can push him out of the ball. I mean, there's nothing stable about Martin Odegaard, and that's the problem. It's rubbing into, it's rubbing into our other midfielders right now.
Right. No, like 100%. But I think Odegaard is still kind of getting match fitness, right? I mean, in and out of the second half, Crystal Palace brought in the second half and Brighton to shore things up. I mean, are we starting to see the trust in Odegaard erode with Arteta? Because he's had the long-term injury, he's coming back part-time. I mean, he still wears the armband, but God, Tony, it's all just bland, isn't it? And that's what I mean.
It is
bland. We're not attacking. We're not defending well. We're losing the ball in the middle of the park, little things. We're bringing Jorginho on to try and help.
Salvage.
To salvage something that's not there. We were overrun by Newcastle. Let's be honest. Yeah, we had the percentage and we had the shots, but Jesus, we couldn't hit a barn door with a machine gun. We had 23 to 25 shots, Tony, and had 3 on target. Are we shooting outside the box at training?
Exactly, man. Exactly. We had up to 69% of the ball possession on the day.
I'm sorry?
We had 69% of the ball possession on the day.
Yeah. and we couldn't score a goal at home. Not even one. Martinelli came close. I thought Martinelli was the better player in the first half. Second half, to be honest, I watched it, but I couldn't be asked. I was just sort of watching it like this, looking at my phone.
I mean, but there's no end product, though. I see people bless up Martinelli for that game, but again, it's still the same old story. It's still the same running without that end product. And right now, what Arsenal need from our white players is that end product. Make those runs, beat your man, get it into more tougher positions for the opposition, and at least have that end product. I mean, let's don't forget the one-on-one Martinelli just missed in that game too. I mean, he smashed it on the crossbar. People are saying it's unlucky. No, a dangerous forward will get that goal in because it's a cup game. You're playing against Newcastle. You know those chances won't come, in a given. You to make use of those chances. And I'm sorry, I don't see why people are praising Martinelli for that game. Yeah, he put in a little bit of an effort, best above the rest. I mean, but that's not what is going to get Arsenal further. What will get Arsenal further is putting the effort and getting the end ball in. And the end game wasn't scoring goals, and that's a bigger problem. So I don't know, man. Our white players, I mean, they're suffering now. I mean, they're suffering from a disease right now. And bro, if you're actually the disease, I don't know, but it's a disease of they can't score goals. How about that? It's a tale of injuries, a tale of not scoring goals. I mean, I don't know, man. It looks drab.
Yeah, it's good evening, Brain.
Big up to you, Brenny K74. Big up to you, my new subscriber on the play. It says, "Good evening, gents." Yeah, good evening, Brenny K74, man. How you doing? Please get in your thoughts about the Arsenal Manchester United FA Cup game coming in. See, before we even get deeper into that, just today, news broken in Italy that Inzaghi, I mean, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about Inzaghi. We're talking about a winner. I mean, a winner. We're talking about a manager with a 5-star alliance. I mean, throw that all away. Inzaghi came out yesterday and said, "You know what? Yeah, I'm itching to go to the Premiership." I mean, I'm itching to go to the Premiership. I love Arsenal. See, it was shameless about it. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this, man. He was shameless. He's gunning for Arteta's job. He's shameless about this. He's saying, "I want to coach in England. I want Arsenal." Dal, over to you. I mean, we have fans who are saying,
Who's he bringing with him?
If we sack Mikel Arteta, who do we bring in? We have a 5-star alliance manager who's out here begging and flirting shamelessly with Arsenal in the papers. What do you say to that, Dal? Inzaghi.
I say, Inzaghi, pack your Louis Vuitton bags right now and get on a plane for Heathrow and get the hell out of Milan. No, I do, and this is a big discussion, and we can make this the majority of the show. Because the fact of the matter is, number one, he's a winner as a player, incredible player, right? That goes without being said. He never did it in England, right? He's been linked. He was linked to Chelsea. I think he was linked probably to Arsenal in the years. Maybe Paul or Brenny know a little more about Inzaghi than I would, right? But he was linked to some teams. I'm sure he was in the Prem over the time of his career. Maybe he wants to go to England to prove a point. Number one, right? Because when you already do it in Italy, it's like maybe I'll take my chances and go, with a good team in England. And he is primed for Arsenal. He's exactly what Arsenal need right now. If I'm Josh Kroenke, Arteta's done January 31st. No. In fact, Arteta's done tonight because we need players in. And I don't want any Arteta more players. If Inzaghi's linked, Bring him in tonight in the next 48 hours and just call it good. And then bring in a sporting director that has worked with Inzaghi before in the past. We need a sporting director. We're not getting any deals done with Arteta without a fucking sporting director. It's just not going to happen. So that's the other thing about the transfer window. We can kind of like close the door on it already. If they bring something in, it's going to be Marcus Rashford. Let's be honest. It's going to be him.
That's a topic altogether. I mean, it's on the schedule. That's on the menu. We'll talk about that later on. Let's throw that all away.
Listen, Inzaghi will hopefully bring in players. If he brings us a Barella, Bastoni, brings us Lautaro Martinez, brings us Marcus Thuram, brings us a DeMarco, he's got to bring players with him because we are not good enough for him, Tony. Think about that now.
Exactly,
this
bro.
squad is not good enough for him, right?
Exactly. No, I mean, no, let's key into the argument. I mean, former Watford player.
He will struggle because he will struggle if he gets the job because he won't know what to do with this crap squad.
With this scraps that we have scraps.
Right. Now, if he gets the job, brings in a couple players, let's say, oh my God, a Barella, a DeMarco, a Bastoni, brings a couple of yes men in, like Arteta did with Jesus and Zinchenko, then we're on to something, right? But he will not get anything out of this squad if he takes the job today. We are not winning anything if he takes the job today because these players, I don't think, are good enough as a whole.
No, they're not good enough. That's a given. They're not good enough.
Correct.
That's a given. Big ups to Brenny K74. He just came in, and of course, he has thrown confusion into the charts. I mean, big ups to you. This is the kind of guy I like. He says it will be a tight game. 2-1 win in extra time to us. I mean, I'm doubting that Arsenal Man United game. We'll talk about that last. But of course, Brenny, I'm focused on this comment you gave here. It says Inzaghi may have woken up our board. They may look at how we do in our next 2 home games versus United and Spurs. I mean, see, this is a big statement here. Now, let's don't get that twisted. Waffle TV has just come into the, into the comments. Big ups to Waffle TV. I'll get to his comment down there. The assembled big wigs have said they entered into the charts. It says, evening, everyone. But Brenny said something very important here, Oregon Gunner. Do you think if our board sees Simon Inzaghi, making such flirtatious statement to the Arsenal, do you think they're awoken to the realities of like, you know what, we can actually have a world-class manager in this football club? Or do you think their loyalties run so deep to this Mikel Arteta thing? I mean, don't throw away the fact that, of course, the manager came to Arsenal. Yeah, he slumped in his first 2 seasons at Arsenal, when battling with the scraps down there, refurbished the team a little bit. At least we had better centre-backs right now, a couple of few good players here and there, mostly defensively.
Yes, at times.
Progress the team in terms of like taking us to the Champions League. That's progression, because at the tail end of Arsene Wenger's season, he struggled to get Champions League football. Emery struggled to even get anything. So I do understand that. We give Mikel Arteta that. But again, I mean, a line has to be drawn to this is where this manager can humbly take us to. Do you think the board is now looking at, Mikel Arteta, we think this is where you could actually take us to? A 5-star alliance managers out there just calling out and flirting with us. I think it's time we part ways with you and bring in Simon Inzaghi. Do you think that's what it's in their head? Or do you think they have this unfettered, connection to this love story with Mikel Arteta?
God, that's the question, isn't it? That's the real $100,000 question. I think from what I know about the Crockies, right? I can only speak from, like, you could say the American side, right, of ownership. Probably PJ would probably even know a little bit better than me, knowing that he's follows their clubs a lot more here in America, right? The Avalanche, etc. But I think the Cronkies want success, and I think there's doubt starting to creep in. But what's going to be difficult is breaking the bond between Josh Kroenke and Arteta. I think they're like pals, they're friends, right? I don't think Inzaghi comes in this month. I don't think he comes in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, or anything like that, right? If anything, it'll be a summer move to see where we're at the end of the year. We might as well now. As much as we dislike Arteta, I think if you were to really sack him now and not bring in Inzaghi, right? Bring in someone like West Ham brought in like Potter or somebody, that would really, really disrupt things, right? I think the way some of the players respond to him is what's keeping him in a job, right? Essentially, right? Because he essentially from the outside, he has a great relationship with the players, even though Trossard would say otherwise, because that he's not signing a contract as well.
He's not. I mean, we'll get down to that later on.
Right. From Inzaghi, from an ownership standpoint, you have to look at the records, Tony. You have to look at the wins and losses, the pros and cons. You have to do what they call a SWOT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, right? They put that together as a model professionally, and you got to go with it.
I think Dal got hooked up there, but again, see, the Assembled said Deji waxing lyrical about that woeful Newcastle fiasco. I mean, see,
they're gonna get pummeled.
Okay, you're back. It's back.
Yeah, you're back. I was just gonna say they're gonna get pummeled at Anfield, so it doesn't matter what happens with Newcastle. I think Liverpool's gonna beat Spurs, and Liverpool's gonna win the cup because they're gonna beat Newcastle. But I guess back to the point about Inzaghi, it's just rumors right now as well. I mean, would you really want to leave that squad for? I mean, maybe another challenge. I don't know, man. I think he's number one on my list, but I don't know if he can get a tune out of these players, Tony, without bringing in some of his own.
He will. But of course, he has to get his own players, and I think that's why the board is stalling on any transfers this January.
Right. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, who are we linked to? Yeah, of course, it's Arsenal. We'll be linked to all these, YouTube players. I mean, the likes that Mark likes. I mean, Marcus Rashford is on the chopping block. See, we have to chop that one up today. I mean, shout out to Mark. This is a Caribbean podcaster. He has a very great channel, and probably you'll be seeing him here very, very, very soon. Mind you, we go head to head with Manchester United on Sunday. That'll be a big one. Mark is a Manchester United fan. Mark, it will be very, very nice you join the show I have tomorrow at 4 p.m. I have a show at 4 p.m. I mean, it'd be nice for you to pop in here, man. But anyway, we'll see about that. Guys, go subscribe to this Manchester United channel. Great guy, loves football, and is a great guy, and me and him will be partners. Because there's some certain kind of things I want me and him to do. But from next week, I would start working with him more closely. I'll reach out to him. Big up to you. Go subscribe to him. Yeah, see Oregon doing it. Let's throw this whole Inzaghi thing away. Today, Arsenal linked with Marcus Rashford. Now, let me give you the story. Now, an Italian tabloid, mind you, Marcus Rashford and his agents have gone to AC Milan. Just this past week, they went to AC Milan to have a meeting, some sort of personal meeting with the board of AC Milan. They wanted to understand the terms to which they were going to get Rashford into AC Milan. Mind you, that wouldn't even be a bad move for Marcus Rashford per se, because we've actually seen English talents move from the English Premiership down there to Italy and become God straight up the next season. I mean, they had Tammy Abraham, who was, Tammy Abraham, come on, man, who was down here with Chelsea Football Club, looking at the rabbest of all players. I mean, it goes down to AC Milan and completely, to Italy actually is completely looking like a god down there. I mean, there was a Manchester United defender who actually left. It went there and he became the fourth best defender. I mean, down there, what's his name?
Tomori, is it?
No, not Tomori. It used to be a defender with Manchester United. In fact, it was thrown away by Manchester United. is a tall guy. I've forgotten his name. Mark, help me out. Help me out with that one, Mark. It is a Manchester United.
Yup Stom back in the day?
No. This was just recently, like 3 seasons ago.
Heinze went to Milan. No, Heinze went to
He
Madrid, didn't he?
No. He was in Manchester United, and then he left to Italy. No, not McTominay, but McTominay has also gone out and had good showings down there too. Yeah, but anyway, but that will make up for a very good move. But AC Milan, this Milan clubs here and this Italian clubs, they're very savvy. They understand they know the market. They know how to squeeze these Premiership teams out of money and fizzle everything out of them. This is the thing. They want Marcus Rashford on loan to come down to AC Milan.
Right.
Manchester United want an outright sale because they don't want the presence. The very presence of Marcus Rashford aches them. They don't want him, and they want to clear him out of the books. They don't, because of course it's a high end, so they don't want him down there. They want an outright sale. AC Milan don't want an outright sale. Manchester United value Marcus Rashford at £20 million, and trust me, AC Milan won't want to buy Marcus Rashford for £20 million. They're not doing that. They also had a meeting in Borussia Dortmund. He had certain discussions. He didn't go there personally, but he had certain discussions with them. But his representatives was also in Borussia Dortmund, and Borussia Dortmund are dragging their heels. West Ham also placed a call for Marcus Rashford this week. I don't think anything has materialized from that. They just said, hey, put us in the loop about what's going on with Rashford. In the early hours of today, the Arsenal board placed a call to Marcus Rashford's representatives, to which they have some certain connection together. I don't know what kind of connection is that. But the news there is that Arsenal placed a call down to Manchester United and were pleading for the price tag of Marcus Rashford to come down, and the possibilities of Marcus Rashford to come down to the Arsenal this January in an outright sale of the player. Oregon, take it over from there.
I think that's disgraceful. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I just don't know what he would offer us that he doesn't United at the moment. I mean, it's going to be the same. I mean, he wants a change of scenery. Go to Dortmund or Milan. I think those are much better options for him. I think he would fit in with that Milan side just fine. They got Pulisic, Morata. I mean, that's a strong side. And coming to Arsenal, it's like, I think he would be just another Raheem Sterling, right? Do we need another Raheem Sterling? Do we need another Willian? Another Jorginho? Obviously different.
I mean, we've seen it all before.
I am not at all gassed about that. When we're letting, other players like slip through our fingers, like Neto to Chelsea, like, we've lost out. I mean, years ago, we lost out to Julian Draxler. We've been linked to Leroy Sané.
Maybe we dodged the bullet with that Neto one anyway. I mean, he's not pulling down trees at Chelsea, innit?
But who's to say he wouldn't at Arsenal though? Like, would you not take him right now for Saka? I mean, I would.
He has only scored 5 goals. I mean, his performances hasn't been.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I
don't know, man. Just go out there and buy proper players.
Realistic about who we're bringing in. Like, we're not bringing.
Why do we have to go get all this rejects? Let's go and bring in proper players to the football club. All these rejects and all these twats that Arsenal are being linked with. I mean, this is rubbish. Go into the market. I mean, why are we linked to all these idiots, to all these punks? I mean, go and get quality. Aren't this guy seeing the quality that's out there?
I know.
I mean, this club.
You're looking at Marcus Rashford. I think Marcus ready to get him off the books. I mean, Marcus probably ready to just say goodbye to Rashford. I mean, he had eight assists in like 4 seasons. I mean, it's been awful for him. I mean, it's just the numbers are terrible. And I'm sure our friend Mark wants him off the books. bring in someone new under this new manager. I mean, I get it. And 40 mil, that's half the price of fucking Goikarez.
I heard that Manchester United would take 20 million pounds for Rashford. That's what I heard. I mean, that's the evaluation. 20 million. I mean, it's cheap. It's not bad.
They're valuing him at 35 to 40. We're valuing him at 20. So Mark is correct. But I think I did see 21 mil offered to Milan. If I did read that correctly in the BBC Sport gossip, that Milan has the $21 million option. So maybe it's 40 million, 35 as a general market price. But when it comes to specific clubs, he may be
they want to, because they know we have shitty negotiators. They know we have shitty negotiators. Of course, they will want to flog him up for us, flog Marcus Rashford for us for like 50. Right. I mean, they will fleece 50 million pounds from Arsenal because we're stupid. We're stupid.
If Rashford wants to change his career, he'll go to Milan. That would be.
He'll go to Milan. I mean, just quit, man. Just quit. Just go to Milan. Go to Milan. Go to Milan. No. Don't stay. Don't come here, bro. Don't come. Stay where you are. Don't come here, bro. I mean, see, bro, there's a certain guy in PSG that right now we could just fly up to right now and go bring in, and we can get a tune out of this guy. I'm talking of Kolomwani. Bro, he's in the market. Big up to Alderman, who is down here. Alderman down here. I mean, he used to be a high hockey player. My brother, my guy, still down here. And of course, Mark is still down here. Look at what Mark is saying. I think Arsenal needs something like Rashford, to be fair. This is a Man United fan and podcaster. Yeah. And he says, he may not have been consistent for us, but he does have talent and ability. Maybe he needs a new environment. I mean, brother, please, could you answer Mark, please, bro? Could you give Mark an answer? Talk to Mark, bro.
I would rather go to Saudi, pay the money and bring in Moussa Diaby. I would rather Bakayoko from RB Leipzig. I'd Semenyo from Bournemouth. I mean, Marcus Rashford is far down my list of players, bro. Yeah, I can't get my head around that, and I would want Arteta fired immediately if we bring this loser in. And even if he wasn't United, though, if he was to say, if he was Crystal Palace or Wolves or Everton, I'd feel the same way. He's simply not good enough anymore. I mean, he never really was that good. In and out of the squad for years, I think. I mean, not that I follow United that closely, but he's just a dusted footballer, bro. I mean, I would rather us make a play at City, go out to City and say, how much do you want for Oscar Bob? Right? Players like that. Young players that have something to prove. You got Oscar Bob. I know he's been injured and so forth, but we would have one area, someone like Oscar Bob, or maybe like Semenyo from Bournemouth, make that younger squad what it is. But I would much rather, in a complete alternate world, is that Inzaghi just takes over, brings in Lautaro Martinez, and he brings in his representatives, his people, his sporting director, the people that his coaching staff, everybody, and wipe out Arteta, Erpon, Albert, all of them. Let them all just go.
Yeah, just let them all out. Let them all out because these guys don't have a clear transfer window strategy. I mean, see, Oregon, we're intent of January. We are intent. Dal, we are intent of January, and a football club that needs a striker hasn't. See, bro, we're doing nothing in the January transfer window. Completely nothing. And our problem area is the striking position. Troy Deeney came out just the other day, about 3-4 days ago, and he said, Arsenal know that they need a striker. We all know that Arsenal needs a striker. And Mikel Arteta has failed to bring in a striker. I mean, it's clear for all to see that Arsenal's problem is more of a striking problem because the chances come in. I mean, we're raking in the chances. The opportunities are there. But it's just that end product isn't just there. That finisher isn't just there. And when we played against Newcastle, it took the finesse of Isaac to just show us what we're really missing in that Arsenal team.
Right.
It's just a finisher.
Yeah,
It's just a
no.
finisher.
Right.
And this
I'm
manager doesn't
like,
I don't know if it's a thing, yeah, if he doesn't value finishes, or it doesn't work in the system, or he doesn't know how to develop strikers. What do you think is really the thing that is making Mikel Arteta shy away from this striker stuff? I mean, look at Nottingham Forest, a big Forest, yeah.
yeah.
Tricky Trees just bruised past the charts. I'm talking of Longhead Yeti. He says, "Pick up, lads. Hope you're both well. Go subscribe to that guy, Longhead Yeti. Nottingham Forest fan. I respect him very, very much. Great guy to actually talk football with and to talk personally as a person. Yeah, Chris Woods is even doing better. I mean, if you could get me Chris Woods on loan, bro, I will take it, bro, because he's firing on all cylinders. He's helping out. He's creating chances. He's also scoring goals too, bro.
Right.
I'll take this players, bro. We have complete crap down there, bro. We have complete crap. Nothing is going on. Martinelli drab. I mean, Trossard. Okay, let's go to Trossard, bro.
Okay.
Trossard. Bro, we have so much garbage in this team right now, yeah, that the garbage it's too heavy for us to just unload out of Arsenal. Reports are rife that just before the Christmas celebrations, Arsenal presented a 1-year deal extension for Leandro Trossard, plus another extended 1 year if he meets certain conditions. So basically, 1 year contract, and if he meets certain parameters, they would give him another extra year at Arsenal. So basically, 2 years in lieu. That's what they were looking at. I heard that Leandro Trossard rejected, and not just rejected that offer, vehemently rejected that offer. He's thrown his future wide open, and right now, because it's a January transfer window, he has the right to actually start, having certain discussions with certain football clubs. Leandro Trossard, take it away, brother.
Let him go. He's 29 years old. He's again average, above average footballer. I don't think he scored some great goals for us, but I don't think overall he's been that great. Right? We brought him in as an impact player, which turned out to be pretty good for a while, and then we started him in games, and we saw many games where he was absolute dog shit. So I don't know what Trossard I'm going to get week in and week out, and I don't like the uncertainty of that. I don't like his age. I think he's very technical, but he gets pushed off the ball easy. He's not that physical, but there's times he bounces off defenders. I don't know. He's kind of just there for me, right? He has scored some important goals for us, like last minute stuff, which is fantastic. But at the end of the day, there's younger and better out there, and I want the best. I don't want to settle for another 2 years of Trossard. And on the conditions, like, what kind of conditions are you going to give him when you barely even let him play? Like, to fulfill the conditions of the contract, you got to be out on the field to do it, right? I just, no, it's just.
But again, what happened to Trossard at Oregon? What happened to him? I mean, when he came from Brighton, I mean, he was trying to get in there and recreate some magic down there. He scored a couple of goals that made me think, you know what, yeah, this guy could actually play as a lone striker. It's in his wheelhouse. He can do it. It's played in that position for Brighton. And then he comes down here, he can't score goals again. He doesn't love football again. I mean, you could see it from his demeanor. You could see that from his character. You could see that from his attitude. His body language is telling you, you know what, yeah, I'm not happy. I'll seek my chances elsewhere to some other clubs that really value me and know how to use me, because his performances are so drab. And I'm just thinking it's not just a mentality thing. It's also more of a coaching thing, a physical kind of thing. I mean, a system kind of thing. So,
right. Yeah, it's such a thing. He didn't just lose his talent and ability overnight. That's not what I'm saying. It's like we've said before. Some of that has been coached out of him, right? By
Mm,
Arteta, and I wonder too. I think that he was probably brought in on somewhat, like false pretenses in a way, right? Like we've promised him one thing but haven't delivered on our end. I'm sure he was under the assumption that he was starting. He would think that
mm,
coming into Arsenal, he would be starting over a 22-year-old kid at 29, 28 years old, right? I mean, that would be his expectation. And that clearly hasn't happened. I mean, Martinelli's had many, many, many more minutes than him over the last season and a half. I see he's just one of those players. Like, I put it this way: if I'm playing FIFA, it's not a problem for me to let him go because I
mm.
know there's better available, right? I mean,
Better available, right?
it's not like we're going to go get Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, right? We're not going to get those players, right? We're not going to get Rafinha or any of the players that are in top form in La Liga.
Yeah,
There's no reason for these players to come to Arsenal, Tony, without the proper manager, the proper system, and a
yeah.
manager that has a pedigree of winning trophies. So if I'm, let's say I'm a top player right now, I think the most informed player right now for me is Rafinha from Barcelona. Right now, he's just incredible at the number 10. But besides that, if you're going for the best, you've got to get the best, right?
See, yeah, I'm not hearing it yet. I'm not hearing it that there aren't players of quality that are out there right now. There are players of quality that are out there right now. Real Madrid just, in fact, they just put Tchouaméni into the market right now. Rodrigo is, I mean, it's available in the market, bro. Rodrigo and Tchouaméni are in the market. Colomani is in the market. I mean, are these guys brain dead? Because no, Oregon Unit, this thing hurts me, man. Are these guys brain dead? I mean, I can spot players better than these people.
I know. But see, but here's the thing, Tony. Inzaghi is not going to bring those players in. Now, he may attract those players, but will the Cronkies see if the Cronkies were to bring in Koulibaly, Rodrigo, and Tukanami, I can't think pronounce his last name correctly. If they were to bring literally all three of those players in, you're talking, oh my God, dude, you're talking like 250, 300 mil. But here's what you got to do in football: you have to change.
Colomani is better than what we have down here at the football club, Mark. Colomani is more better than Kai Havertz. Personally, he will achieve more. He's more better than Kai Havertz.
Better than Trossard. That's not what I said. And I don't know. I'm sorry, but Lautaro Martinez is a Champions League semifinalist, lead scorer in Serie A, has won the Scudetto already, and whatever Italian Super Cup. Oh, they just bump that out because AC Milan. Lautaro Martinez comes to Arsenal all day long.
All day long. I mean,
has a plethora of clubs he could join if he wanted to, but he's sticking to Inter and his Argentinian Italian roots. He is not a failure, and he's so not overrated.
He's not overrated, Mark. I really like Lautaro Martinez, but again, there'll be that doubt if he's suited for the Premiership, because that's another thing.
There's always doubts, but I mean, he's a World Cup winner, Argentinian international. He's a straight baller. I mean, really, and the purple patch is all players. I don't know, man. Lautaro Martinez and Rasford, that's a big comparison.
I mean, I fancy him, as a player. I like him. I mean, he's not that kind of player that just lights up everything, but he's that kind of striker that will struggle, that will push through.
The striker market is limited. He's one of the best in this limited striker market, which I agree with. I mean, Jonathan David's good. Obviously, Victor Gyökeres. Any of those. And I've said it before, I would, at this point, Tony, we need a striker so bad, I would take fucking Strand Larson from Wolves. I literally would.
Exactly. I mean, Larson is a decent player. I mean, I like him. But again, we see football heads, like the assembled.
Argentinians, bro.
We see football heads like the assembled say something like this. It says, Tony, no striker can thrive in this system. Oregon Gunner.
That's true. That's true too. That's true. This is true. That's why we need Inzaghi right now.
Mm.
I mean,
Argentina, you wanted to say something. There was something you wanted to say.
Yeah, Mark's talking madness saying Argentinian makes him a baller. Yes, it does. Messi, Maradona, Di Maria, names go on and on. Yes, it makes them a baller.
Exactly. Mark says here, Trossard leaves you drop to a top 4 contender, is impacting games and in training is way more than you see. It's impact. I mean, no, bro. I mean, see, Oregon Gunner. Mark talks about the impact of Trossard. I've not seen any impact. I mean, bro, am I not seeing? Guys, what impact has Trossard? Bro, man, I want to be the last person to criticize Trossard, but I'm not seeing any impact in. No, have you seen any impact, Oregon Gunner? Is it that maybe I'm not seeing football well the way other people are seeing it? What impact has Trossard made?
What's that?
What impact has Trossard made?
None. I mean, so we've got some 3-2 victories, some last-minute goals, but when he starts, I know there's nothing there. He doesn't produce anything. He's an impact player. And it's not even like I don't know. It's
a squad player at best. I mean, it's a squad player at best. He's not the guy to come in there and give you 15 goals in a season from the wings. I mean, of course, we can argue to what extent Mikel Arteta has contributed, to that drab output. Of course, we can argue that. But again, man, at times when we've used him, he looks drab. He's produced nothing. No magic, no goals. I mean, he just looks drab. The opportunities that he's had, one-on-ones that he's had, and he's fluffed them all away. He's not just the clinical guy we need in front of goal. Of course, the assembled factors in the point that strikers in this system, and I do understand that, strikers in this system can't thrive. But that's why you're a manager. A manager is to go and decipher the kind of players that will be able to work in the system that you want. So, I mean, if the crop of strikers that you have in your team isn't working according to your system, then there's always the transfer windows. There's always the transfer windows to go address those problem areas. And I mean, get a striker. There's always a solution in the market. Get a player who knows how to play in tandem and in connection with the kind of system you want to play. But the fact there is that we're getting half-baked strikers in this football club, like Max said, 65 million for Kai Havertz. Weak players.
Right, he's trying to make something out of nothing. I mean, Kai Havertz was big time at Bayer Leverkusen, a great teenager. They overpaid for him at Chelsea, right? I think they paid 92 mil for him, and now they just they got a Champions League trophy out of him and pawned him off for 65 mil. So and that's been still the Kai Havertz signing's been the worst signing that he's made. Obviously, I just don't
horrible signing.
I don't
horrible signing.
Arteta sees in this guy. I don't know. We say what Trossard brings.
Horrible one.
Havertz bring.
Horrible one. Okay. Oregon, I'm sorry because I know you would soon want to go, so that's why I want to cram this thing together. The final one. See, Arsenal faces Manchester United this weekend on Sunday. See, man. I mean, after that embarrassment, total embarrassment, bro. Newcastle came and shit all over our yard and left with the advantage. They're gonna take that to Northumberland, but see, it takes a different thing for Manchester United to come to the Emirates and shit all over our faces. See, Oregon Gunner, what do you think? FA Cup tie, Manchester United. The stakes are high. Cup competition should be something we should be looking into and factoring. All our ammunitions. We should make sure that this FA Cup is something we don't play with. Mostly after what we dished out against Newcastle. Your take on this Arsenal versus Manchester United in the weekend? And I mean, if that Manchester United that face Liverpool rears its head at the
Right.
Emirates, I mean, we could be in big, big, big trouble.
No, what's his name? Bruno Fernandes, game of his life. Harry Maguire, career game. But,
Mm,
you know, it could be a one-off. I mean, they still didn't win. You know, I mean, they 2-2 is still, you know, still a draw. They still didn't win it, but I could see the style of play that they were doing against Liverpool was working. You know, but is it a one-off? I don't know if I don't know if that same United comes with that same energy on Sunday, because already they've
mm,
kind of just now found what the standard is, and it's going to be up to them to keep up that standard on Sunday. And we have
yeah.
a lot more to play for, right? We want to recover from the Newcastle game, and we want to progress in the FA Cup and go on to win this thing. And I think United are still kind of in the phase of kind of finding themselves out. Right? They're
Mm.
still, the training may be clicking, but will it be enough on Sunday? And I'm not so sure. I don't know. I still got to go for Arsenal. I still got to say 2-1 is my prediction. It's going to be close because I don't think both teams are that good.
But again, do you think they can conjure anything at all? Do you think that matchup against Liverpool was a more highly contested one? Do you think it's more of that bitter rivalry? It's not the same kind of rivalry we have with Manchester United. Yeah, we have bad blood with each other, but I mean the hate they have with each other when it comes to that Liverpool game, I mean it could raise a dead bone. So, and we saw that. But do you think they have that kind of knack against the Arsenal? Is it the same?
No, but close enough.
Mm.
It's close enough. No, it doesn't.
It's close
Doesn't
enough.
rivalry to it. No, but I mean they despise us as much as we despise them. Right?
I mean, then what are the key areas for us to watch out for in that matchup, man? What are the key areas, and who do you want to see Arsenal install in problem areas? Problem areas I'm talking about in our right wing area. Of course, Waneri won't be there because Saka is injured. Of course, I mean, who would you play down that left hand side? I mean, we have two drop players down there, Martinelli and Trossard, who look worse off than how they looked 2-3 seasons ago. I mean, what will be your front three? We have Kai Havertz. I mean, who shouldered a one-on-one header to just head us into that Newcastle game. I mean, our attack looks drab.
Be a little bit creative. I guess I would start Trossard on the left, Martinelli up front, and Jesus on the right. That's what I would do.
Oh, wait. Let's unpack that. Let's unpack that. You're going to play Martinelli up front. Is that what you did? Please tell the people what you just said.
Yeah.
Big up to John Smith. Big up to the Assemble. Tommy Sosabia is also down here. Big up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would say Arteta's at the point now where he's grasping for straws. He's going to put in whatever works. So if you're going to do whatever works, Arteta, Trossard on the left, Martinelli up front, and Jesus on the right. We know Martinelli gets the ball, he dribbles with his head down. Fantastic. Does he get in a good cross? Not much anymore. But can he shoot on goal? Absolutely. Can he run? Can he play off the shoulder of a striker? Absolutely. But, and Trossard is whack, Thomason. I agree. And I'm picking the best I'm doing the best I can with what I'm given. Right? And Arteta knows that because he's hated the bench for how long? He hates the bench. Right? So he's saying that he's thinking the same thing we are. He's trying to make the best of a bad bunch. And without Saka, the whole thing falls apart anyway. So I just think you got to, if you're going to experiment, put Martinelli up front and see what he can do. If it doesn't work, just swap him with Jesus or Trossard or whatever. Right? But he's not going to do what I say. He's already got what he wants in mind, and that is fucking putting number 29 up front. He's going to fit that player in any way he can. If it's not going to be that, we'll see him at left mid. And if we see him at left mid, we'll see Thomas Partey at right back. But I think he plays the same. I think he plays the same lineup he did against Newcastle, because he's going to look at the Newcastle game as, the Martinelli miss, the whatever.
The Kai Havertz miss. We control the game. That's what we're looking at in his deluded mindset.
We had a lot of shots. He's going to look at those statistics, right? and use that in his decision making come Sunday. And that's why I think he's going to go with the same lineup, same bullshit tactics, whatever we're trying to do. And, we'll see. But I do think overall we are better than United, because United are just now finding their feet, right? I mean, that Liverpool was like they could have made a fucking DVD over it. It was so big.
Exactly. The Highbury local badger says Arteta's shit. Never wanted him our football club. I wanted Conte back then, DM captain. That never won us a league, and I don't consider him a manager. He is a piece of employed batter that won the top 4 trophies. So man, it's a brutal. Charity Shield is a trophy. The ball is a problem. Wow, he's embarrassing the football club. Exactly. Oh my days! That statement, I couldn't take it. And every time he opens his smart mouth, Joanne Smith says, Joanne Smith is a very direct person. That's why I like her. She says, we will lose Sunday and Wednesday. And of course, Mark says, form goes out the window in FA Cup, broski. It's going to be a proper clash. And son, I think United will win for sure. See, we have to go. Dal, please, your prediction for the matchup before we go.
My prediction's 2-1 to the Arsenal. I just think we have a little bit, we're together more and more of a unit. United, I think it's, like I said, still trying to find their feet under this new manager. But it could be a surprise either way, but I've got to go for the Arsenal 2-1. I do believe United
2-1.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Dal goes for 2 goals to 1.
2-1.
Yeah, 2 goals to 1. I'll be doing the watch along on Sunday. I'll be coming back from a preseason game. And then, I'll be doing that watch along on Sunday. Tomorrow, Niger Englishman will be coming to the channel. So I'll be here. Mark, I'm also inviting Mark to the channel tomorrow. Mark, please send me a message on Instagram so that I can get you. Let's do a preview on my channel or on your channel, anyone. But I have a show here. It would be nice to have you down here. So please just send me a message on Instagram so that I can send you the link down there. See ya. Shout out to everyone. Join me, Mark, and Niger Englishman tomorrow as we do justice. That should be 4 p.m. UK time. So, let's just see what happens. Go and join Oregon Gooner right now. Is it the American Idiot Show coming up?
Yeah, we're starting here in like 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. In 2 minutes time, American Idiot Show. Go join TJ and the boys and Oregon Gooner, my best American. Yeah, guys, my best American. And thank God the wildfires in Los Angeles doesn't touch this guy. So, I'm happy. He's happy. We keep moving. And shout out to new subscriber Benny K74. He sparked out the charts down here. Big ups, and please keep showing up. Benny, man, big ups to you. See ya from me and Oregon, my brother. We are out.